Hi, everybody, and welcome back. And thank you so much for being a part of the program. Wednesday, January the 8th is the first day of recovery. It only gets better from here as far as temperatures are concerned. In fact, we've got, even though mostly cloudy skies in the forecast tomorrow, we're going to break the 40-degree mark. We haven't been there in a while. It's going to be a welcome change. I'll update your forecast, of course, with great detail and maybe even a little celebration along the way in just a few moments. But we'll also be taking a look back at present conditions that are still plaguing a lot of viewers in regards to the Arctic cold air, which has really, of course, affected everyone, not just in the viewing area, but nearly 200 million people across the nation. Maybe even more than that, I do suspect. Nevertheless, we'll be getting caught up on the school situation in McGoffin County. While classes have already been called off for tomorrow, we'll speak with Superintendent Stanley Holbrook about what they have planned for Friday's schedule and about how the cold has affected facilities. I'll also check in with Frontier Gas to see how they're faring and trying to get gas service back up to several McGoffin County customers who have been without gas and heat as a result since Tuesday morning and even earlier than that for some. Water departments, will talk with representatives of those as well, and a great deal of other news to follow as I try to get you caught up in lieu of my absence yesterday. And I don't know where that line of too much information is here on the program on a personal note is. TMI as the kids call it, but I'm pretty sure I've crossed it on more than one occasion. Just to let you know, I kind of, in my limited wisdom, took a bad fall the other morning. Nothing permanent, but it was a doozy, and at the same time, I came down with one of the worst viruses that I've had, and I think like a lot of folks are going through right now, in a long time, full blown with the fever and everything, and it's been a rough 24 to 48 hours for me, but I'm back in limited capacity, which is probably nothing new or no changes to be noted, but just so you know. Also, just so you know, it's been serious and deadly so far, and the numbers are going to continue to be adjusted, we are afraid, but this polar vortex of frigid air that's gripped the nation has so far claimed the lives of 21 people across the United States, 7 in the state of Illinois. I know of 6 in Indiana. At least 5 people died after collapsing while shoveling heavy snow. Several victims identified as homeless individuals throughout our nation, many of which, or at least some of which, refused shelter or didn't make it into somewhere soon enough before temperatures ultimately claimed their lives. The phenomenon that forecasters say is this polar vortex. It's affected all 50 states. Technically, if you count Hawaii and the top of Mauna Kea, which is a dormant volcano, and it's 18 degrees. Of course, no one's really up that high, I don't suspect. But all 50 states have been affected by this brutal weather with temperatures freezing or certainly below. So we're not certainly the only ones that have had to endure what we have. Some folks in eastern Kentucky aren't going to have to endure in the long run, so to speak, the economic conditions that they have. If it's a success, the success of an 8-county part of eastern Kentucky, southeastern Kentucky, fighting unemployment, including many coal jobs being lost as of late, as they were moved to the front of the line, so to speak, in applying for and seeking federal funds aimed at job training, education, other programs including housing, as this area has been chosen for the Promise Zone program. To be clear, this doesn't mean that this 8-county area of eastern Kentucky is going to be allotted a new pool of federal funds, but it means that these counties will receive top priority and be moved to the front of the line, so to speak, through existing programs that are designed in helping apply for money and assistance. In his announcement just earlier today, President Obama said that tax breaks for businesses are going to become a reality for these individuals to try to increase hiring in this area which includes the counties of Bell, Harlan, Letcher, Perry, Leslie, Clay, Knox, and part of Whitley County. The qualifications, as I understand, are that the areas had to meet poverty guidelines or levels and have a collective area or population of less than 200,000. President Obama actually announced this Promise Zone program more than a year ago, but today announced the first portion of it to directly affect eastern Kentucky, even though it will be some time before the benefits are seen. The zone in Kentucky, for example, is among the first half dozen that will be announced, others in other parts, and mostly in the central and western part of the United States. The poverty rate in the 7 counties, or at least 7 of the 8 counties, was over 25% up through 2011, and many of that were even higher. They all had a minimum poverty rate of 25%, some more so than 30. Most of that period was also before a sharp decline that we saw in the coal industry. For example, unemployment rates in McGoffin County, 16.6% during the same time period, while the percent of those living in poverty was 30.1%. Need a little water to keep going. We'll be right back, and then we'll check up with all the major utilities. No major electrical problems or outages to date, a few isolated areas, but it was gas and water that have really been affected for a lot of folks. We'll speak with the respective representatives from those utilities in just a few moments.
This is John at Premier Motor Sales in Paintsville, Kentucky. We appreciate y'all shopping with us. And if you're in the market for a used vehicle, we carry all sorts of different kinds of makes and models. For example, here I have a 2009 Chevy Malibu LT. I also have a 2010 Toyota Corolla S. It's no problem to find you what you're looking for. Give us a call at 297-4121 in Paintsville, Kentucky.
Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400.
Hi, I'm Don McFarland. I want to be your family lawyer. If you've been injured on the job, if you're interested in getting your Social Security disability or SSI benefits, or if you've been injured because of someone else's negligence, or basically, if a car wreck has caused you to suffer pain, then pick up the phone and call Donald Wayne, 349-9000.
Whether you walk in or it's by appointment, your health and well-being and that of your family is always first at Salyersville Medical Center, where a waiting staff of men's, women's, and pediatric health care providers, along with the support of their team, stand ready to care for you and your entire family with exams, sick and well visits and checkups, labs, physicals, immunizations, and more for all ages, all day, every weekday at Salyersville Medical Center, proudly keeping you healthy and happy since 1996. Happy New Year from everyone at Salyersville Medical Center. The 2014 Terexes are in with a newly redesigned 800cc power plant and a new 2-seat configuration. And the XP1000 is on the ground, 107 horsepower and a world-class suspension, plus Polaris financing as low as 2.99%, 5.99 for up to 72 months. But it's only good till the end of the year at Connolly's Kawasaki and Polaris of Paintsville. From time and money-saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Salyersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Salyersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time.
While the frigid air may be long gone, at least for now, and hopefully forever in that form, it is still causing problems for a lot of Americans, including several in the viewing area. Right now, we'll focus on water, we'll focus on the school system, and a gas supply, which has not been up to par for many McGoffin County residents.
Not 100% sure that I wasn't contagious and not wanting to pass this along to anyone and still not being able to get around very well. I spoke via telephone today to representatives of the Salyersville Waterworks as well as the McGoffin County Water District, and they both had good news, not on behalf of their customers necessarily, but as far as utilities were concerned. The Salyersville Waterworks had no outages on their side of the meter. They had several calls come in. However, after sending representatives, crews out into the field, on all circumstances, it would be found that it was on the private property side of the meter. And a lot of folks are dealing with that, certainly. The same went for the McGoffin County Water District. They had about a dozen calls at least, and after sending out crews to inspect, it was all found to be on private property and on the homeowner's side of the line. So no major breakages and no lines frozen off either on the city or county level that will be thawing and bursting. But a lot of homeowners, of course, have had to deal with a lot of frozen pipes, a lot of burst pipes, and some steel that they're hoping won't burst when they thaw. As for the Magafa County School District, they've already, of course, as have most all other schools in the area, canceled classes for tomorrow, Thursday of this week, due to road conditions. I did have this conversation with Superintendent Holbrook of Magafa County Schools just a few moments ago in regards to any other problems that the school system may have incurred due to the cold weather or attributing factors. And a part of that conversation also centered around whether or not there will be class in Magafa County Friday.
We generally have the same issues as homeowners in the county, just our homes are a little bit larger. We've had issues with the gas company, that's Frontier Gas, and they are. That's why I'm waiting. That's why I'm here this late this evening. We're trying to wait to make sure that we get enough gas pressure to keep our buildings warm in these cold nights. So what we did when we're having the biggest problem at is the South Magafa. So what we did is we went in there, and maintenance did, and shut off everything that was non-essential except heat. So what little gas that we're getting would just be enough to run the heat only, to keep the building from being too cold. Now Frontier Gas has assured me that we'll have that. They assured me yesterday they'd have it fixed, and it wasn't. They assured me again today. So we'll wait and see. I got a little bit more time because we've got to call off school tomorrow due to the slickness of the side roads. But we're going to try to have school Friday.
Are you going to be taking any extra measures to kind of assess the situation Friday, or is it going to be a sure go?
It's right now, barring any problems, it's going to be a sure go at this time. That could change tomorrow. We'll make that definite decision by tomorrow afternoon for sure. And tomorrow afternoon, if we do decide to go, we will have the bus drivers. The bus drivers, they get a little flex time. So we'll get to use half a flex day, and I'll send the bus drivers out to drive the side roads and to look at them and determine which ones are the safe and which ones are not safe for buses transporting children. If they deem a road not safe, they'll have to call it into the bus garage, and the bus garage supervisor will go out and check them. And then maybe we can get some help from the county maybe to work on those roads that evening and make them accessible next day. And if they're not accessible, then I'm going to ask that bus driver to contact some people on that road to bring them out to the end of the road, because we want to keep the kids safe.
Going back to the heat issues, is South Magafa the only place where the gas or heat issue has been a problem or concern?
Yeah, that's the only one that got really, really low that we had to turn off all non-essential equipment. But now at North has been low also, but not as drastically low as South. Those are the only two that works off of gas. We also had a little issue with the newly renovated Salyersville grade school with one of the boilers there, but we got it remedied today. It was an installation problem from the new companies that went in there and put a new board in. The board didn't work. Computer board, everything runs off computers nowadays, and but we got it bypassed, and the new board's been ordered, and it's up and going right now.
And on to the gas situation that Superintendent Holbrook referred to in that interview, specifically with Frontier Gas, who has had some pressure issues. We know of several residents who have been without gas service, some as earlier, I believe even earlier than 1 o'clock Tuesday morning, and still without their primary heat source. And while road conditions, as you heard Mr. Holbrook say, won't be a factor, they believe, with Friday's classes, it is still pending on the gas, which he has been told by Frontier Gas will be operable by then. The following conversation is one I had a few moments ago with Larry Rich. He's one of the owner-managers of Frontier Gas, who says that they had hoped to have the gas service on before this particular time, but are certainly hopeful that they'll have it on by this time tomorrow. And he understands that, he says, it's affecting a great deal of residents, specifically right now in the Route 40 area and in the southern part of the county, which would include South Magafa Elementary.
Well, geographically in Magafa County, there's two locations that are problematic right now, but I'm hopeful that before the end of the day we can have them back in play, but I cannot guarantee that. One of those is out Highway 40 going toward Oil Springs, and the other is down in the south side of the county in the Royalton area. I've got customers out on both of those sides of the county. Whether or no we we can get them back in play tonight, I don't know, but we're going to work late into the evening until it's probably too late to be interrupting people before their evening. If we can get it on, it'll be on tonight. Otherwise, it'll have to go into tomorrow. I was very much hopeful with the weather break that we've had today, we'd have everything back in play, but complications such that it hadn't permitted that. We're still working at it, however.
Is this primarily just frozen line situations, or your suppliers, or?
It's both. We've got frozen line down in the south side that we're trying to get broken up and gas flowing down there. And we've got pressure problems. Our major suppliers, some of them got frozen off as well, because much of the gas that we sell in Montgomery County comes directly off of wells. We get some off of Jackson or Jefferson gas line, and their pressure's down. We get some gas that we moved out of Floyd County over there off of Columbia. Their pressure's down. Not precipitously to the point that people are out of gas, but it's in Floyd, as far as I know. None of our customers are out anyway. But the issue is pressure, and it's system-wide, not only with us, but with the major pipelines as well. So not to say that because the Columbia lines, for example, are lower by, report I got, were 100 pounds lower than they normally operate, but that does have some impact on how we have to operate. Not that Columbia has cut us, said, I have to shut you down until we get our pressure problem solved. It's just a nationwide, this deep freeze has had an impact nationwide, and unfortunately had a greater impact in Montgomery County than any other part of our system.
In closing on this update, I don't know how much solace it is to those customers who have been in the cold for days now, a day and a half or so. But Mr. Rich says that pressure was building today, and of course the warmer temperatures, which will signal less usage, will help build pressure as well. The only word of advice, he says, that if you do have gas, keeping it to a bare minimum usage, even for those who don't have pressure problems, will continue to help build up pressure system-wide and thus speed up the recovery process. We'll be checking back in with Mr. Rich tomorrow, as well as Mr. Holbrook, to find out just how well things went in the 24-hour period. We'll be getting roughly around now. Up next is tonight's community calendar, an announcement sponsored by your local Farm Bureau agent, Doug Green, and McGoffin Farm Bureau, beginning with a reminder that the next diabetes education class is tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock at the McGoffin County Health Department. The title, Staying Healthy with Diabetes. It starts at 10. The class is always free, and open to everybody. Diabetes basics is more specifically the topic of discussion. Once again, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock at the McGoffin County Health Department. Eyeglass donations still being accepted so graciously. Leola Cole will collect them after you, hopefully, and graciously donate them or drop them off at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. In a couple of weeks, she'll collect them, and then they'll see their ways overseas to some folks who can certainly use them. So if you got an old pair lying around, dig them up, drop them off at the McGoffin County Senior Citizen Center. And the deadline to order apple and pear grafting rootstock is January the 31st. Strawberry plant orders are due by February the 3rd at your local McGoffin County Extension office. Call 349-3216 to place your order, or simply stop by. Oh, that's an old one there, or at least part of one. And this is an invitation to you from the Salyersville Trinity Full Gospel Church. You're asked to come and enjoy guest speaker, Minister Jennifer Wilson of Mount Sterling, this Friday and Saturday evening at 7. This is going to be held at the Salyersville Trinity Full Gospel Church in Old Burning Fork Road. And you are now invited. Everyone is welcome to come and enjoy, once again, guest speaker, Minister Jennifer Wilson of Mount Sterling. That's again Friday and Saturday, 7 o'clock, both evenings. And you're invited to use our calendar anytime you've got announcements just like these. As always, for free. And I don't know of a better way you could ever let anyone know what you have planned. And don't forget birthdays and anniversaries, too. I'll be right back. Game time means wing time at Lee's, and that means it's time for you to try our new buffalo wings. I can't tell you our secret, but I can tell you they're marinated and then rolled in our famous, albeit a little spicy, crispy chicken batter and served up with any of our 7 delectable sauces. So get your hands on a meal or a box today at your Salyersville Lee's Famous Recipe, where no one does chicken like we do chicken.
Howdy, Hatfield. I reckon I'll take my pig back.
Ain't your pig.
Yeah, it is.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is, and I can prove it. Ma, I just sent a picture of our missing pig. Tell everybody it's time to start feuding.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
I guess ain't gonna be no feud. Real nice picture, though.
We'll put it on Instagram.
Appalachian Wireless is 4G. Great pictures, video, text, and talk. Bigger savings, better service. That's today's Appalachian Wireless.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
As we get ready to embrace a bright new year, we'd like to take just a moment to wish you and all those you know and love the safest, healthiest, and happiest of New Years. From your home away from home for short-term rehabilitation or long-term nursing care needs, all with a standard of excellence and a tradition of caring. Happy New Year from Salyersville Nursing and Rehabilitation.
They're just about to put the lid on it. I checked them out today, and you've only got a few days left, but they've still got a lot of Christmas items left. Everything inside Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop, it's Christmas, is still half off, but they're going to put it up or put it out here in just a few days. So be sure and stop in. Get a head start on next year and do your whole house for half the price. Other clearance items are being put on the shelf every day, and some are big discounts. Be sure to stop in. And never has there been a better time to pick up something for the cats, for yourself, that is. Fraser's Prater Drug Seasonal Shop in downtown Salyersville has a little something for everyone, all season long.
Start off the new year with some brand new duds. Regardless of how hard you have to work or how hard you want to play, if you're stepping out or if it's what you're stepping in, Red's Boot Barn has got you covered with work, play, and western boots by Muck, Ariat, Red Wing, Blackjack, and more, and winter and western wear by Wrangler, Ariat, Miss Me, Outback, and Carhartt, just to name a few. Happy 2014 from everyone at Red's Boot Barn in Salyersville.
Just a couple of things to mention in high school basketball. Looking forward, to getting back to some home games for the Montgomery County Hornets, and a lot of other teams, of course, traveling during this time of year. Let's put something up there so you don't just stare at a blank screen. The only team in action tonight, per the Kentucky High School Athletic Association schedule, is the Lady Tigers. Now, they are at 6-5 after their win at Allen Central over Williamsburg. They're playing tonight in the All-A Classic at the Eastern Kentucky Expo Center, and that was versus Betsy Lane. Now, if you're asking, well, isn't there a name that you're leaving out of the All-A Classic, as they have had major success in that tournament since they made it into it? And, of course, I'm referring to the Montgomery County Lady Hornets. I did confirm through head coach Scott Castle via a text, actually, just a few moments ago, that they didn't make it into the All-A Classic. Not that the All-A Classic champions, well, weren't invited, so to speak. Technically, that is what it was, but if you might recall, they first made it into the All-A Classic tournament based on school registration, or population, if you will. And this year, the threshold that determined as to whether or not they would be in the All-A Classic, well, they had 6 more students enrolled than that threshold. So they weren't able to compete, as it's based on student enrollment at respective Kentucky high schools. So there you go. Montgomery County Lady Hornets not venturing back to the All-A Classic. But, as I said, Paintsfield Lady Tigers playing tonight. As for the boys in Montgomery County, by the way, the girls are on the road tonight at Johnson Central. And the boys are not playing again until the 14th.
and that's going to be an away game at South Floyd. Home court basketball, if you will, for the boys doesn't come back till January the 16th. It is a little sooner than that for the girls. They'll be back home this Saturday night. Thank goodness, some home basketball to go see. We've been away for a while. And you know what else has been away for a while? The 40s and even the teens for nighttime lows, both of which are in the immediate forecast. Per your Licking Valley RECC forecast and predictions, everyone stand and clap and rejoice as wind chill is no longer a word inside the forecast. It probably will make a return, but not for now. A low of 19 tonight, which is certainly an improvement. We had -1 for the low this morning, and we topped out at 38 degrees. We'll fall back to 19 under mostly cloudy skies tonight. And then for your Thursday, not so bad. No sunshine, really, but 42 degrees, 33 for the low. We do see some rain moving in late tomorrow night. Not a big rainmaker for this one. Chances, though, do increase a little later on in the forecast. Friday, mostly cloudy, dry during the day, a high of 51. Another chance of rain builds in, and a better chance of rain, mind you, Friday night. We'll see a good chance of some rain. Right now, it looks to start after midnight for us. Mostly cloudy skies, some light winds, no wind chills, mind you, and then temperatures hanging in the 50s for your weekend. 55, rainy. I'm sad to say, but we'll take it. It will get rid of all the ice and snow that might still be lingering around. Even though it's going to be wet, it's going to be relatively warm, and certainly warm comparatively. 55, 34 for your high and low, and I've got a typo there, obviously. 47, 36 for your low under partly sunny skies on your Sunday. We'll start off next week in the 50s, but guess what? Guess where we're headed after that? Yeah, we'll start off 52 around Monday, and we're going to take a plunge thereafter. Nothing in sight like what we have just endured, but more winter weather does return. And I'll leave it for tonight. Thank you all for being a part of the program. I'm so dehydrated and so sore I can barely function, but I made it through. Thank you for enduring with me. I'll see you back here tomorrow night. An update on all the gas and school-related conditions that we began tonight and some other news when I see you next time. Good night and stay warm.